It's just some hay on a truck. I've got a kind of what's that famous statue, the one thinking one? Hello and welcome to the Tank Museum on Tiger Day 10. I'm Iron Armenian and today I'll be presenting my top 5 tanks at the Tank Museum. This thing, you're not going to be seeing that today. I found 5 other absolute units that I'm going to be doing today. Come on, let's get to it. What we have here is the FV 4005 Stage 2. Rolls right off the tongue, easy peasy, doesn't it? Let's just take a moment to let the scale of this gun sink in. That's a 183mm cannon, and you'll be hard pressed to find any vehicle, any tank that has a cannon that large, let alone on a turret. This turret can rotate a full 360 degrees, but it is limited to firing just a little bit left or right, otherwise it might topple over. When we get to the carriage, that's a bit more standard affair. It's literally a Centurion hull. Same speed, same armor. It's exactly the same. This is the only one in the world. Although interestingly, this is not the original hull. This turret, I've been told, has been lying around in the Bovington car park for quite a long time until it was reunited again with a Centurion hull. And that's when it was placed here. And it wasn't so much that it was a bad tank. It was just a very impractical tank. It was a dead-end line for the Centurion tank. And so, for all its dopiness, that is why it's at my number 5 on my list. The Churchill gun carrier, 1941, England. The Churchill is still in its early development phases and is shaping up to be a pretty alright tank. It's just a little short in the firepower department. So that is how we ended up with this beast. What we have here is a 3-inch cannon. The essential idea was, what if we just get a Churchill and give it a big old gun? That will show the Hun. Unfortunately, this tank was already irrelevant by the time it finished its development. Tanks such as the Archer and the Sherman Firefly were already available and much more suitable for the role of being a tank destroyer. This little project that went nowhere has earned its place at number 4 on my list. Number 3 on my list, the A1E1 Independent. What we have here is an interwar tank. In the middle, we have one large cannon with 4 smaller light machine guns surrounding it. Like every other interwar tank, the idea was more gun equals better tank. At the beginning of World War II, a lot of countries were experimenting with multi-turreted tanks. We had the American M3, the Russian T-28, and we had the French Char B. The track length alone brings a whole host of issues. The longer the tank, the harder it is to turn. It's fascinating to see the British ideologies clinging onto World War I design. Long tank for crossing trenches, large crew, it's got 8 men in there, the same as the Mark IV tank. This tank goes over the top at my number 3. England, 1943. The plan to liberate Europe is underway. Millions of litres of concrete are being poured from the heart of Germany to the beaches of France, all put into defensive emplacements. The British need a sledgehammer to get through those emplacements, and that is how we have this 80-ton beast. This tank's so huge you can hold a tea party in there. I can't emphasize how large it is. These tracks are almost a meter wide. And here's a banana for scale. The back engine deck is bigger than some people's rear gardens. Inside of here, we have a Spitfire engine that gives it a top speed of just slightly faster than a brisk walk. Logistically, it was a nightmare to get from A to B, but when it got to B, it was a force to reckon with. 6 tortoises were made in total, but this is the only one on display in the world. There is technically another tortoise up in Scotland somewhere, but that one's been shot to bits as it was used for target practice and makes the Churchill gun carrier look in absolutely spliffing condition. I love this tank because it is just a bulldozer of British steel, more than enough to ask Jerry to kindly leave France, and that's why it's my number 2. With every vehicle on this list being big and British, it is right that we finish on the legend, the TOG 2. But I'm not going to. No, over here. At number 1 on my list, we have the Goliath tracked mine. Yes, I know it isn't a tank, but that's not the point. Unlike the other vehicles on my list, This vehicle was produced en masse, and that is why it's on this list. I know it's unusual. Every other vehicle, there's only one-offs made of them or a very small amount. It's got a spool of cable out the back that allows it to travel up to around half a kilometer away from the target. For the electric version, this cable could also be used to supply the power, but for the diesel one, it was just merely used for the control inputs. In reality, these vehicles were useless, as the low clearance meant they got stuck on any obstacle really easily. Also, with the diesel version, diesel is very loud. This vehicle had enough armor to protect it from small arms fire, but in reality, a few well-aimed shots could easily disable it. In Normandy, these remote-controlled death machines were reduced to RC toys by the Allies. They were merely for entertainment. There's more than one footage online of Allies riding around on top of these like little RC cars, almost like little go-karts, having fun with it. In fact, when's the Tank Museum going to sell these at their gift shop, like a full-scale plastic model? And that would be amazing for like an RC toy, just a cheap little fun thing for the kids. The Goliath is proof that the biggest booms come in the smallest of packages. And I've just been told that the cameraman no longer wants to film me because that phrase was so bad.
I saw you on your last video. These are museum pieces. You do not swing off the barrel.
Yes, these are museum pieces. They are not toys. They deserve to be preserved and protected. I'm sorry for what I did. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to check out the Tank Museum's YouTube channel and also support them on Patreon. If you want, you can also have a look at my top 5 videos on my YouTube channel. Just Google search Iron Armenian, I'll come up. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching.